Hello everyone. My name is Rajiv Gordon, and I am a coach. I help students to make their careers in various fields. And the purpose of this podcast is to explore about digital marketing. We have Manav Gupta here with us from Bellistro Consulting, and Bellistro Consulting is a digital marketing firm, and we are going to ask some questions about digital marketing. As you can see, Madhav Gupta is so young, so he has started this just 2.5 years back, and now he is running this agency with 15 employees. So that's a fantastic journey, and that's a great organic growth in terms of number of people he's working with. So we are going to explore what retail marketing is all about and how a young aspirant makes the career in the field of it, and some more questions about it. So it's going to be a brief discussion about digital marketing, and the purpose is to orient you towards this field and probably really get answers to many questions that you might have. So let us start with some very basic fundamental question. What is digital marketing, Madhav? What exactly is it? Yeah.
So thanks, Rajinji, for the introduction and having organizing this session. This can be a great one. So excited about this. Now answering the question, right? Like digital marketing, I guess, like again, right? Like when it comes to digital marketing, from the term, it is like using marketing on digital platforms, like running marketing campaigns or doing any sort of a marketing on digital platforms is what basically it is. That like the ads that we run on platforms like Meta, Google, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, like any platform out there. But it has to be digital platform is what the basis of the discussion is. And therefore, any platform that you use for that comes under digital marketing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That is great. And so many students nowadays, when I talk to them, have a lot of different perceptions about digital market. Some say that they want to sell some cosmetic and make some videos of their own. Some students simply want to be popular, and some of them probably think in terms of running campaigns for others. So there's a lot of, like, digital marketing seems to be a lot of things. For different people, it is different things. For some people, it is just making reels and becoming popular. For others, it is like unpacking some uh, new offering, some cosmetics or a mobile, and they show it to people. So there's so much of it in digital marketing. Um, can you just touch upon some basic aspects, and how can one decide about making a career in the field of digital marketing?
I'll just break digital marketing into two basic parts, right? One is, let's say, the organic growth using digital platforms, which can be, let's say, creating content on Instagram, YouTube, or any platform which is organic, where you're not paying the platform anything. You're trying to create content so that people are able to see it, and then obviously it gets viral. So all of those aspects, right? Again, um, SEO is another thing, which is optimizing a website to rank organically. So there are organic parts to it, and then there is a paid component, which is running ads, which can be on any platform out there, right? So the basic, let's say, if you have to divide it and then understand more about, would be breaking it into organic and paid. Then there are multiple platforms, multiple channels for each, where um, in a nutshell, what I basically mean is in organic, you're not paying anyone as a platform. You're trying to do everything based on how the platform is. You're trying to get virality, or you're trying to get yourself organic brand without paying, let's say, a channel or a platform. But when it comes to paid, we're using ad campaigns, a sponsored thing that we see on all channels. Um, and using that, we're trying to get that virality. Through that, we're trying to reach out to people. And the aspects that you mentioned, right? Like people want to sell cosmetics, they want to sell laptops, they want to sell anything. So now we can sell anything and everything, right? Like there are people that are selling airplanes on Meta. So like the potential or the opportunities are huge. And but I guess the bigger thing would be understanding what channel is suitable for your business, reading a strategy around that, and then looking through it, right? Just one more thing to add when it comes to digital marketing, there are many advantages of why digital marketing works, but one of the biggest thing is when we compare it with traditional forms of marketing, right? We are able to quantify, we are able to track, we are able to see everything. As in, let's say, if you spend a particular amount, how many people are able to reach it, which is very difficult with the traditional ways of doing it. Let's say if I'm showing an ad on a newspaper, I can't really say how many people in this certainty would have seen the ad. But when it comes to anything on digital, everything is quantifiable, everything can be mapped, and therefore the potential that it has is huge.
Okay. That's great. So we have two ways, organic and inorganic. Organic is where you don't pay, you simply create content, and inorganic is where you pay to the channel, whether it is YouTube or Facebook. Okay. So I think there are a lot of people who still think in terms of math and commerce and humanities. So, but then digital marketing doesn't come into picture as a separate field. So, what kind of qualifications? So, let's say somebody wants to make a career in the field of digital marketing. Is it that he has to study maths and science initially, or commerce, or humanities? So, what kind of people would pitch into this kind of domain?
The beauty of the platform or the industry is anyone can fit in. I am a computer science engineer by my education, but then I choose marketing. So again, right, like in the last close to 6 years that I have been in this space, I've seen people from across, let's say, different education background coming in. People have been from commerce, they have been from, let's say, management, they have been, people have been from BTech. All of them come together, and I have seen everyone striving. But then there can be a couple of things that I feel are important or things that people need to work on if someone is choosing this field. Like maths is, at the end of the day, we'll be running campaigns, and there is going to be numbers involved, as in you want to get a particular growth, you want to reach certain targets. So therefore, understanding of basic maths is obviously needed. The other element, obviously, when it comes to marketing per se, which can be both digital or let's say traditional ways, is communication, right? Like communication has to be good enough because you'll be communicating with clients, you'll be communicating with the team. So marketing, like we generally see folks that are in marketing have good communication skills. So like, yeah, right, analytical communication and yeah, basic mathematics, I guess, would be the three criteria. So there is no particular background that I would say that we need to be there. But if someone has a knack of marketing, they feel they're decent with numbers, they're decent with their communication, and then they're able to analyze the data, then obviously they can go for it.
Okay, so that's great. And I've also heard that, there is graphic designing, there is copywriting, then there is editing the ads. So there are so many different domains in the same field. And as you said, people from arts, people from commerce, people from probably science have something to contribute in this field. And I think it's like very democratized. There isn't any specific domain where one has to kind of specialize on some subject. People from different domains contribute to it, as I see.
Okay. Again, like one thing that you mentioned, which is like something like graphic designing, video editing, all of these at times feel like really technical in terms of nature, and they are to some extent, but I have seen people across, let's say, backgrounds coming in and doing great. It's more about their creativity or let's say the ability to learn a particular tool. Obviously, if someone will have to learn few tools to master that. But at the end of the day, it's not like just people from engineering can do this. This is something that anyone who has, let's say, a creative mindset can do it. So as you mentioned, it's really vast as a field. Like there are people doing everything from a very small thing, like let's say creating a image, people that are creating websites, people that are running campaigns, people that are doing shoots. So they're at times they can be very different, but everyone has to choose what, let's say, their interest is, what they would like to explore in that huge thing that it is, and then they can go for it.
So most of the students who want to make a career in any field want good money,
Yeah.
and at least there should not be a scenario where they are jobless. तो अगर कोई डिजिटल मार्केटिंग की फील्ड में जाता है तो किस तरह की अर्निंग्स के बारे में सोच सकता है, और क्या कभी मान लो किसी कंपनी से निकाल दिया जाता है, या ऐसे सुनते हैं कि इवन बड़े बड़े गूगल और माइक्रोसॉफ्ट से भी लोगों को ले ऑफ कर दिया जाता है, तो कोई इधर अगर डिजिटल मार्केटिंग की क्वालिफिकेशन लेके जाता है तो क्या वो अपना खुद का कुछ काम कर सकता है, ऐसे टफ मार्केट सिनेरियो में भी सरवाइव कर सकता है?
I think like see, as a field, as I mentioned, it's huge, right? There are roles in every company. I don't know a company where marketing or digital marketing now is not a role. Even traditional businesses are bringing this in. So the general job scenario, right, which happened, let's say, in this year or the last year, is more in terms of every industry saw it. It was not specifically for one, but I'm sure that marketing was still better than the other industries. Like tech, let's say, was one sector that saw the biggest layoffs and everything. But in terms of marketing, I guess it's a huge field. There are and it's growing, right? Like especially if we talk about India, in India, it's growing really fast because businesses are now going digital with the rise of platforms like Zomato, Swiggy, Blinkit. All of these are going to, let's say, boom or help in the growth of this industry. And obviously, it's already growing. So I don't at all feel that there is any problem in terms of the sector returns and the growth that it will see. I guess this is one sector that we can be sure of that will grow at one of the fastest pace. And in terms of the expectations, in terms of, let's say, one salary. So marketing is a field, if you talk about not just, let's say, digital, but any marketing person per se, is a field of experience, right? Like when it comes to tech, people generally start with very high packages. But in marketing, one thing that I can say is experience is very important, and therefore initially the packages can start from, let's say, 35,000 to 40,000 a month, and then obviously it can be much more. But I'm trying to give you a complete sort of a area, like it can start from something around, let's say, 35 to 40,000. And I'm talking about a graduate. I'm not talking about someone who has a postgraduate degree. Obviously, for them it will be much higher. But if someone coming with a graduate degree can start from somewhere around 40,000 to 70,000, I guess there can be different companies that have different goals. So that's how you can start with. But one thing that I can say, even that's something that I've seen, is the growth in this industry is really good. People are able to get really good increase in salaries. And once you are, let's say, 4 years, 5 years in the industry, your value is like a lot more. And then you are talking about numbers that are for any industry out there. It's not just going to be, let's say, you will be competing with the highest salaries that are there in any company. So that's the basic where it starts at. And then I don't think there is any number that I can say it can work with, because I've seen people taking, like, if you talk about companies like all of the new age tech companies that are building, they need people for marketing. And like, I guess that's one of the areas where the most number of people are there in a lot of new digital companies that are coming in. So yeah, like therefore I feel there's a lot of potential in terms of that. Then in terms of starting something of your own, I guess the one thing that I have seen with myself is I did a job for close to 2.5 years. That's where I learned how to do things, how to talk to clients, how to do everything in terms of marketing. So as I mentioned, like marketing is more in terms of a field of experience. Like experience is valued a lot more. So get some experience is what I would say. Understand the market, understand how to do things. And then obviously there are, as I mentioned, there are lots of areas where you can explore, even doing something of your own, creating your own team, working with people across geographies. That's another beautiful thing with digital marketing, right? Like we work with clients that are sitting across 10 different countries. So someone sitting in Delhi, someone sitting in India, anywhere in any city for that matter, can work with clients across the world. So therefore, a lot to explore.
So I think this is one big reason that people get attracted to digital marketing. It is very glamorized, and people think that there is a happy marriage between creativity and technology. There is one field that is digital marketing, जहाँ पे क्रिएटिविटी का भी बहुत काम है और टेक्नोलॉजी तो है ही एआई और ये सारी चीजें जो आ गई हैं। सो अगर मान लो किसी को डिजिटल मार्केटिंग की फील्ड में लेट्स से 10th के बाद में बच्चा सोचता है 11th के बाद में कि यार मुझे इसमें करियर बनाना चाहिए, ये मजेदार फील्ड है, तो उसे क्या चीजें शुरू करना चाहिए और कैसे इसमें आगे बढ़ना चाहिए?
Since all the big companies like Google, Facebook, uh, LinkedIn, all of these platforms are where someone gets to know about the marketing, and that's where they'll be running those marketing campaigns. It can be both organic as well as inorganic. So all of these platforms have pretty a lot of content which is for free. Like Google has a lot of courses for every different specialization in terms of Google Ads. So that's one. On LinkedIn, there are a bunch of courses, and now students deploy a lot more as well. So LinkedIn is a great platform where there are courses that you can enroll and get to know and learn about it. Google offers courses, Meta does the same. And then there are platforms like Udemy, there are lots of great courses that people have created, which someone can go through. They will take anywhere from 10 hours to 50 hours. Like it depends on the type of a course it is. So, so there's a lot of content. I don't think the problem is in the content. They can definitely go through it. But one thing that I will say is at the same time, do read through or go through these courses. At the same time, work on your analytical skills, just let's say your basic communication skills, because those are also going to be really big criteria of, let's say, when you're applying for companies, because they won't just be your, let's say, analytical skills or marketing skills in general. They will also really look in after your communication skills and basic understanding of, let's say, numbers. So get all of those things. Don't I won't say that you need to do a lot of courses just to begin, because everyone understands that it's a field where you have to, people have to learn it. There has to be a process of how that learning will go, and a lot of companies will do that in ways. Even in ours, the first 3 months are especially being designed to train people, because we understand that people are coming, let's say, right after the college, or they haven't done a job before this. So we do that. But if someone comes with a good sort of understanding of, let's say, just the business in terms of how things are happening, how everything is evolving, their communication is good, it just makes the job easier for them to learn and grow in that field.
So do you also think that depending on their own strengths, like for example, somebody is good at writing, then one can think in terms of developing his career in the field of copywriting and making scripts. If somebody is good at designing, then probably he can go for graphic designing. So that again is a field. If somebody who's good at communication, he can be in client servicing or pitching the products. So depending on one's own strength, there are lots of different specializations within digital marketing, and maybe students can figure out one particular thing and work on it and make it like their specialization. And then when they go into the field, probably they can expand. When they are working for a company, they get exposure to all the different other domains as well. But yes, as you said, there are so many courses available, and generally they can look into it to get a feel of what they really like. I think my firm belief is that if you get into something which you really like, you kind of do not get tired spending a lot of time. कहीं पे भी मेहनत तो बहुत ज़्यादा करना ही पड़ती है। अगर ऐसा फील्ड मिल जाए जहाँ आपको बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, so you don't feel like doing things, or you do not you enjoy the process. अब आप मुझे बताएं इसमें,
right, as you rightly mentioned, right? Like if someone has let's say, they like writing or they like designing, so that's also a great way of looking at it. because if someone has already a particular interest which can align with one of the, let's say, streams in marketing, they should definitely do that, explore that more, understand more about that, and let's say do a couple of courses there. And then obviously once they're in the company, then we will explore it in a way that they can expand it. They can even look at different fields that are
Yeah.
relatable and grow from there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, for a 12th class, like during their vacations, are there internships available where they can spend some time and develop certain insights into the field?
After 12th, there are companies that can give smaller internships, let's say a month or two, where they can get to know about platform at work. Like as you mentioned, if someone has some sort of skills already in copywriting, they like to do that. So what they can do is they can start sort of applying in companies where the skills align. It will be a bit difficult, let's say, just after 12, which is because what generally companies go for when it comes to internships is people are in the first year, second year, third year of the college. Like after they have been to the college and they have some sort of skills, because before they went to college, they are still, let's say, just learning about or reading through the content that was given. But once they're in college, they're able to explore a lot more. They're able to understand things in terms of that specific needs, because they are able to talk to their seniors. And college is like one place, right, where you learn a lot more, and then companies start looking out. Because when you say that, okay, you are in a college, you're in a second year or third year, companies are able to be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, because they can also then see that after your college ends, you can, let's say, join in full time and all of that. So after 12, they can be few, but obviously once you're in college, let's say in the first year, second year, there are lot more opportunities that open for you where you can explore. Uh, and like once you give some, let's say, real work, right? Because courses can obviously give you some sort of critical understanding, but once you do things, once you are in a company, you are able to understand more. You are able to then see that is this something that you really want to do for, let's say, the next year that are coming after your college is over.
One of my students got into John Hopkins, and it's one of the top colleges in the world. What he did was, so he went into biomedical engineering there, but in his 11th, 12th class, he created a blog. And in that blog, he used to write down whatever learning he used to get from different books, different exhibitions. That blog itself contributed a great deal to his selection. So do you think for students starting a blog or even making their own profile on, say, three platforms like LinkedIn would be helpful for them to further venture into the career of their choice or digital marketing per se?
Sure, right? Like, so this student that you talked about, right? He did a great sort of thing of doing something, let's say, out of the box, because it's not something that generally people are doing, right? Which is great. And honestly, kids nowadays are able to do things that we are not able to even imagine at that particular age that they are at. Like while I was in 12th, I didn't even know what digital marketing is. Like I can definitely see what new advancements are coming in with what people are or kids are exploring. So that's definitely something that I will see, that if someone wants to create, let's say, a small sort of course, which can be, sorry, I shouldn't say course, a small sort of project where what they're doing is whatever they're passionate about, they're able to create let's say, a blog out of it. They are able to create, what people are doing is they're creating Instagram accounts. They're able to create content, and then it becomes a easier sort of a way to show something. Like the one way that we generally use, so we just said that, okay, this is something that I like sports, I like all of this, but now people are able to showcase that, okay, I just don't like it, I've already done something there, I've already created a blog, I've already created a channel, I have already created an account, and I have tried things out. So obviously that gives them a lot of understanding, because they did try the platform, they understood what worked, they understood what didn't work. So all of that is obviously great. And then that also helps them stand out. right? Like if there are 10 folks, and I don't think that there'll be more than a couple of them that would have tried something that way. But if someone can, this is a great way of looking at it, like creating blogs, creating Instagram accounts, creating YouTube channels, creating LinkedIn accounts. And then again, right, like another thing that you can do with all of these platforms is you can start reaching people out as well. And then you can just say that, okay, I've already done something, so you can increase this. Like I was in my college for an event, and there were kids in first year, second year, and all of them were not just saying that they like something. They were like, I've already created an Instagram account. I have 2,000 followers. I have already created few vlogs. So it felt like, oh, now people are not just saying things, but now executing it. And obviously the ones that will execute will always grow, and will get the best opportunities out there.
So I think the sooner the better. As
Yeah.
investing, they say that the best way to start investing was 20 years back, and the next best day is today. So probably for students also, it could be a great way to showcase their strengths. And yeah, as you rightly said, rather than saying मुझे ये करना है, you can always come and say मैंने ये कर दिया है. So you have already proven yourself. I think that can be a great thing. Another important aspect of it is like they can also channelize their energy rather than seeing the content to creating the content. So I think once they get that taste of life, and once they start doing it, probably it will become as addictive as watching reels. Because
That's true, right?
yeah, somebody has created those reels. That's why these guys are watching it. What if they start creating those kind of reels which they really like? It could be from any domain of their choice. If somebody is in sports, he can start making reels of sports. A basketball player can be some reels on basketball, or somebody is an artist on a few reels on that, how to make it, what to do. So I think that can be a great, like this guy. No, I never thought that probably making a blog can be a fundamental step or the foundation of him getting into John Hopkins. So I think there are enormous advantages to use social media and digital marketing. Marketing aspects not, but then at least using these platforms in a creative way.
I remember like the student, right, which, so what he did was he was applying for a company, and instead of just submitting his resume, he created a complete blog out of it. And it was so easy for someone to see a blog. He sent that blog to, I don't know how many companies, but there were a lot of companies and some great offers. The biggest reason the company that selected him said that they really were interested that this student did something different. He created a blog. It was a complete sort of a blog that talked about what his projects were, what he did, what sort of learnings he was able to get in. So there are lots of things that people can do, which can be like, they're not just creative, but they also just showcase that this student or this person is, let's say, trying to do a lot of things, and therefore can be a great sort of candidate for the company.
I have two questions, the last two questions for you now. I want to ask your age. So what is your age that you have started digital marketing? You're already working in this field for like 4-5 years now.
So I'm 27. It's been now
just 27.
Yeah,
that's great. And at this age, you have set up the company and you have started working. My second question is, what is the age of the youngest employee you have in your company?
I guess 22 or 21. No, 21.
22. Oh, wow. So at the age of 21, he has started. Who is the oldest one?
I guess number one, like the other co-founder, the oldest one. Right now, everyone is quite young.
What is his age?
28.
So, okay. So the average age is between 21 and 28 is what I
Yeah.
So this is a field which is there for young people. Are there oldies also?
Yeah. Like, again, right? Like it's a completely startup model, and therefore it's a startup, and therefore we try to get people right after the college because we want to train them. There's a particular training module that we have. Uh, but obviously, right, like if you talk about marketing agencies that employ hundreds and 500 sort of people, there are a lot of people that will be about 35 people, about 40, about 50 as well. Like a lot of CMOs that you will see will be from different dates. So I don't think there is like say a particular age sort of a bracket. But the good thing is you can start at like I started at 22. Right after my college, I straight away went into the field, and that's what a lot of people in our company have done that as well. Like right after the college, they joined the next team. So that's the thing. But again, right, like with experience, you keep on getting better. At the same time, you will also have to adapt, right? Because like we talk about AI or Chat GPT or all of these tools, and therefore whatever your age is now, it's more important to get to know about those tools, understand them, use them. Uh, so that's the important thing. But I guess age, everyone, like if you can start really young, they just need to have some sort of, let's say, I guess the biggest thing will be the driving to be in the field, and then obviously they can do it.
Wow, that's great. So this is a field which doesn't have a specific age bracket, and a person can start from any age and develop it.
I remember
That is
someone
great.
who
Yeah.
started at 19 as well. So
Okay.
like, yeah, now he's also running his own agency. He's 24, 25 now, but he started at 19. So again, right, like that's the beauty about digital platforms that they are giving opportunities to anyone and everyone at any age. It's just about experimenting things out, trying things out,
Yeah.
and seeing and like aligning it with your skills, right? As you mentioned, like if someone has some interest, then obviously choose something that you like, and therefore that will bring less resistance, and you'll be trying more things, and therefore it just makes things easier for you. So I don't think that any other field can have people more
Yeah.
young, like younger there, but people can be of let's say even 19, 20 that can start and they can do really
Like
well.
one other thing is that I think in the field of digital marketing, as I think it is more about what you have done and proven yourself in the field rather than your educational qualification.
Yeah,
Nobody asks
true.
you whether you are
Mm,
from science background or you're from arts background, probably what kind of projects you have done and what work
yes.
you have done. And if somebody has not worked on a project, one can always showcase his or her own profile in a very creative manner
Yes.
uh, to showcase his strengths, whether it is in writing or in designing. So I think this is one field which is very much democratized. The
Yeah.
good aspect is that anyone can enter it, and the bad aspect is that anyone can enter it. So I think there is a lot of competition as well. But then I think those who are from that talent and who can prove their worth, there's a lot to go. And I mean, it's a good aspect that there's an open field and it's easy to prove oneself one up than others. Especially there are so many people running the race. So if you win, you win over many people who are running the race. So I think that's a great aspect of this. So thank you so much, Manav. Any last words for the students who want to get into this field?
Like as like we covered almost everything, but again, just I guess the thing would be to choose, let's say, particular interest that you have, because there are jobs, there are opportunities across fields, uh, but at the same time also adapt with the newness of whatever is coming. Let's say AI. If let's say you're a designer or you're a copywriter, you need to really start using those tools. Don't treat them as threats. If they are used really well, they can make your job easier. At the same time, can give a better output as well. So use all of that, then keep on experimenting, keep on trying. The opportunities are, as I mentioned, huge. Every company wants great talent in this sort of a field. You can work with clients across geographies as well. So hopefully a series that you can grow a lot more. Again, if any help sort of is needed, I can talk to more people as well if needed. But As a field, it's been close to 6 years, as I mentioned, and I'm loving it. It's still growing a lot, and there's a lot to learn. So yeah,
Great,
that's that.
great. Yeah. So it's an upcoming field, and
Yeah,
I think it makes all the people like you jump out of the bed every morning to do something new
yeah,
and to learn something new and be in the field. So I think it's one field which can definitely be explored if somebody wants to. It's as good as being a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer. There's a lot to learn, and I think there is a huge runway forward. Okay, Madhav,
right
thank you
now
so much. Yeah.
doctors need marketers as well, which was something that was
Yeah.
not needed in the past. So yeah,
Doctors, hoteliers, teachers,
everyone.
schools,
Yeah,
colleges. I think everyone needs marketing as a specialist, a specialized field is there. So absolutely. Thank you so much, Madhav. And if anyone wants to reach out to you, they can write a comment or they can reach to various channels. It's easy to figure out using digital media itself. So if you write Madhav Gupta, you will get the details of them. And yeah, we will be more than happy to help. The purpose is to explore various fields and figure out what can be the best path to make a career in those fields. So thank you, Manav, and see you again. Bye bye.
Get